Hello, this is Dr. Claire Steffen. I'm a psychologist, a certified alcohol and drug counselor, a naturopath, a certified natural health professional and master herbalist, a national board certified counselor, and a board certified coach in life coaching, wellness coaching, and business coaching. The other day we talked about brain-based being, and so today I want to talk with you a little bit about mindfulness. Now, you hear that term used a lot frequently these days, and yet we don't always understand it. And when you think of the term mindfulness, I want you to remember our discussion on the mind. Some scientists don't even really believe that there is such a concept. But what I've suggested to you is that we can think of the mind as the place where the brain, which is the physical being, meets the abstract, or that which allows us to be innovative and creative, and that part of the mind that allows us to think in abstractions. And so when you think about mindfulness, the other thing I want you to be thinking about is connecting to yourself and being at one with yourself and looking for that authentic and unique and true universal being that you are. And so when we think about mindfulness, it's being present. It's not necessarily just dealing with affirmations and creating a belief or even a way of thinking that everything is always going to be positive, because that isn't life in reality. Things do happen. And yet we want to be present to be able to process what happens when things occur that are difficult. So mindfulness allows us to be aware. It allows us to take in all the information and to connect to how we're thinking about it, how we're feeling about it, and how it makes us behave and what we believe in as a result of what has occurred. And we're ever changing, and so there are always things that are going to occur that affect us. Now, the other day, I also discussed some things that can affect the way we look at our health overall. And there are some things to be mindful about, that you need to control for, such as looking at maintaining healthy sleep patterns, or to control for too much stimulation from electronic devices, to avoid social isolation, and even the overuse of social media, because sometimes people create images on social media about who they are, which may be exaggerations of the truth, and people can oftentimes walk away feeling inferior as a result of what they witness on social media. So be real careful with that one. And then look for ways to have more support in terms of your communication as a result of, what you're exposed to in social media. Balance it out with face-to-face contact with people that are loving, people that know you well, people that care about you. So this impact of social isolation, as we talked about, can result in decreased emotional support and can deplete our chemicals that make us feel good in life. So we want to manage those stress levels, want to manage any unhealthy anger and any unhealthy relationships. But one thing also I want you to be thinking about is the supplements that you take, and make sure those are in balance, so don't overuse them. And if you're prescribed medications, to always make sure that those are in balance and that there's no interactions. And if you're feeling out of sorts, to consult with your primary care physician or specialist to have those evaluated to make sure that there's no interaction going on, whether it's regarding your medications or supplements that you might be taking, because those can interact and act just like medications as well. So thinking about mindfulness doesn't just, rest with us thinking about the mind. We also have to think about our bodies, as I'm talking about that here and now. Good diet, good exercise habits are important for us to follow. And let's talk a little bit again about spirituality. For some people, spirituality comes in the form of religion and through the church affiliation that they have. But for many people, it isn't about a religious organization or a church. It's about connecting to the spirit that you have inside yourself. And I think of the spirit as an ethos. It's like that drives us. It could be, connected to your passion and what makes you want to get up in the morning, what makes you thrive. And so that balance between mind, body, and spirit is crucial. And then having that authentic self, and so how do we get to that authentic self? Well, we have to think about, how do we restore ourselves? How do we rejuvenate? We want to maintain resilience. Resilience is such a critical, not only skill, but part of our being. And so these days, I think about even going beyond resilience, we want to think about having sustainable lives. And so maintaining our resources in such a way that we don't overuse them. There's a really beautiful quote by Audrey Hepburn, an actress of previous generation, but she says, people, even more than things, have to be restored, renewed, revived, reclaimed, and redeemed. Never throw out anyone. And I think that's important to think about, not just in terms of other people, but in terms of ourselves. And to do it in such a way that we're mindfully present, that we're aware, we're here in the moment, and that when we need to reach out for support because something is happening that's overwhelming to us, that we have the resources to be able to do that as well. I appreciate you listening, and I look forward to talking with you again. Have a beautiful day, and stay mindful. Thank you.